I need to slowly put the highlighter back so I don't lose my place in this, because that would suck. Hey, what's up you guys, it's Steph, okay? And today we're going to be talking about something cool that I'm doing with one of my friends here on the platform. I won't call her a booktuber because she says she doesn't really identify as a booktuber anymore, but she's still on the tubes, so there's that. So for Christmas, one of my friends who I met on BookTube, Kate, whose channel I will link down below and in the icon thingy, so you guys can check her out. We've been talking, and we decided to do a kind of book exchange for Christmas, where she takes one of her favorite books, she annotates it, says it's me, and I take one of my favorite books, annotate it, and send it to her. And y'all know I chose Be More Chill by Ned Vizzini for this. I got her the musical edition, and I'm annotating it, and I'm very, very freaking excited for this, because Kate is a really good friend. I really appreciate her. I love the fact that we became friends and we started talking, and I appreciate the heck out of her. And I just want to say here, like, I'm sorry if it sometimes seems like I'm distant. Sometimes I'm just bad at replying to things, bad at getting out of my own head to do other things and being attentive. So I appreciate you as a friend. I appreciate the heck out of you, and I'm very excited for you to get this book. Also, if you're still watching this, you're not allowed to watch this until after you get the book, so go away, Kate. Now, this has been something really cool. I've never written inside a book, on the pages of a book before, and it is very exhilarating. It feels like I'm graffitiing some kind of private property, but it's like, I own the book. Like, this is a copy of the book that I own, and I'm going to give to someone else with words that, like, I want, like, jokes I want to make, and, like, words of what I feel when I read this book. But it just somehow, it feels so wrong to write and highlight in a physical book. I've never actually done it before. I've tabbed all day long. Like, I love tabbing books. It's freaking fun. But never have I gone in with a highlighter and a pen, and it feels so wrong. Especially, I have so many copies of this book as well. But this is like the first time I've ever done it to a copy of my Be More Chill book, even though I've said I'm going to do it before. Like, it's so weird. It's so exhilarating. There's like a thrill that comes with it that makes absolutely no sense, but it's hilarious. And yeah, I've been going through the book. I'm nearly done with it. I'm very excited to give this book to Kate because not only is it the musical edition, but it has pictures from the Broadway production of Be More Chill here in the States before it went over to London in 2020. And this is a story. I love the story of Be More Chill. I love the journey that the book went on from becoming the book to the musical to Broadway, like off-Broadway to Broadway to now London 2020. And, like, the journey of the musical, how the musical took from the book but made its own story, twisted things around. I love that. But the more I read Be More Chill, this is probably my 5th or 6th, like, time reading it. I've read this book so many times. But, like, the more I read this book, the more I just don't like it. Ned Vizzini has a very specific writing style and audience that he writes to. And just the more I read it, the less and less I like it. And it's just, This is the hill I decided to die on. This is the hill. Like, this is me branding myself. Like, I branded myself as Be More Chill, and, like, the more I read it, the less I like it. I'm so close to re-reviewing it again, just kind of trashing it, even though it's one of my favorite stories. It's just the characters. It's such a conflicting thing because it's so intriguing, even though I like it less and less the more I read it. It's always so intriguing to see how Ned Vizzini wrote his characters. Like, how his characters do feel like real people, but they also feel like real people that suck. So, it's a weird ground, but I don't know how else to explain it. It is a very weird ground to stand on, where one of my favorite authors, he writes some of my least favorite characters. It's like his stories are intriguing, but his characters are kind of trash. I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of been across all his books, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. And that's something I've kind of been writing down in the book. Like, book Christine, I'm constantly just like, you know, musical Christine is 10 times better. Going through it, just making like occasional jokes, highlighting scenes. I don't know what else to say about this. I just want to make a video talking about this cool little project I'm doing and how wild it is to write in a book, and how my experiences with reading Be More Chill have changed consistently every time I read it. Because every time I read it, First time, I was so freaking ecstatic because I like listened to musical. I wanted to know how the real story really went because I never when I first heard the musical, it was at a point where it was no longer playing in New Jersey. We had no real hope for an off-Broadway revival or anything like that. So we were just going off of like a 30-minute bootleg, which of course I didn't watch because bootlegs are bad. Okay. Eventually there was another New Jersey production, but that one was very short and not much came out of that. And then we got off-Broadway, then on Broadway, now going to London. So more of the story has been out there, and I know more of the story and how it moved away from the book. But when I first read it, I didn't know any of the story. I didn't really know what was happening. I knew the basic outline from the music, but there were bits I was missing and like some bits that didn't fully connect. So reading the book, I wanted to know more, and then I found that out, and then listened to the music. There was like an audio recording of the full musical, so I was able to use that, and then use the book and compare and contrast. And I've really enjoyed the comparing and contrasting of this book because the way that it was changed from book to musical adaptation is fascinating, and I absolutely love it. It's just the more I read the book, the less I like the book, the more I like the musical. Going from the musical high of how these characters were elevated and given more personality, coming back to this book where they are kind of flat. They are a bit more, maybe a bit more realistic, but they're also just so flat, and there are the points that are kind of around, like, fitting to the time when it was written in the early 2000s. And it's just, the more I read it, the less I like it. And it kind of hurts inside, but also I can understand why. I don't know, I've read so many better books since the first time I read Be More Chill. And every time I come back to Be More Chill, I've already added dozens more books that are better than this. I'm not trying to shit on this book before I give it to Kate, I'm just saying. It holds a special place in my heart, and that's the reason I chose this book, even though as I read it, I'm just like, oh god, like, what is she going to think when she reads this book? Is she even going to like it? Is she going to judge me for choosing this book to give her? Even though I'm making my comments in here, is she going to judge me because of how these characters are? I don't know. Why am I even making this video? I don't know. More to just throw kind of my thoughts out there for whatever I don't get in the book when I send it to Kate. Like I said, she shouldn't be watching this until after she has the book in her hand, so hopefully she's not hearing all my rambling. She'll be reading my rambling. But it's such a cool thing to have a friend who would even want to do something like this, like to choose a book that they find, like, they hold very near and dear, write in it and like graffiti it for you and then send it to you. Like, it's wild, and I'm really excited to do it. And yeah, I would love to just kind of put it out there if anyone else wants to do a kind of book exchange where we can choose it, like each of us chooses a book and then we send it to each other after annotating it and everything. I would love to do that with some other people. It's so fun from my experience so far. Like I said, it's my very first time writing inside a book, and it's so thrilling. I would love to do it with some other people. So if you guys are down to do like a book exchange like this where we annotate it and pass it on, I would love it. It would be really rad. And this is my open invitation to you. Hit me up in the comments or on Twitter or wherever you want to contact me. Like, I'm so down to do this with someone else too, because it's really fun. Anywho, that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm sure I've rambled far too long already, and I just want to get this out here for you. Okay, I hope when you see this and once you get the book, you'll really enjoy it. And this has been such a fun thing to do. I cannot wait to get the book that you're sending me. I'm so freaking stoked you don't even know, my dude. Now, it is cold, and I'm going to go wrap myself in a blanket burrito, so I'll let the outro take it away.